I gotta sit in the middle. I love doing this, bro. Of course you gonna walk all the way down the seat.
Go ahead, bro.
Yes, he was in the middle, bro. Not at all.
All right, we have Micah, Brendan, and Dixon. Take questions.
All right, guys, talk through the night offensively. Looked like things struggled a little bit there for the first half, and then about 7 minutes left in the game, you guys really turned it on. Just talk about what was going on tonight.
We just got to get better at kind of making the one more pass. I think sometimes we get too caught up in dribbling, like Coach said. We dribble too much, and we kind of dribble ourselves closed a little bit, and we gotta work on moving the ball a little more. But whenever you start doing that, you start making more shots, and that's what happened.
Looks like they ran a little 1-3-1 there for a bit. Have y'all seen a bunch of that in practice?
I mean, we have, but, you know, it's a little bit of brain farts and stuff like that. We kind of had to come together and lock in, you know, because stuff wasn't going our way offensively, like you said. But the one thing we did know is that if we locked down defensively, the offense will open up.
You talked about locking down defensively. They had 4 turnovers in the first half. You got more than double that in the second half. How were you guys able to start getting them to turn over the ball some more?
It was just a matter of, like, I guess, just trusting each other, trusting that you could play aggressive because even worst comes to worst, you get beat, your teammate got your back, but then you got to help him. We just had to sort of come together as one more.
Just feeding off that, you know, just ball pressure, you know, because our assistants always, you know, preach ball pressure, you know, because every practice, every game, we track it. And we have, like, you know, like the stars rating, like 3, 4, and 5-star ratings on that stuff. But really just that, because I feel like early on in the game, the guard number 1, I feel like he did a really good job of, like, kind of like controlling the pace and kind of like getting downhill. And in the second half, I really feel like we kind of dictated their pace, and like they kind of, you know, we kind of forced them into like late shot clock possession. We got a lot of fast breaks off of that, and I really just forced more turnovers due to our ball pressure in the second half.
You guys were missing threes early, but you guys all hit a big 3 in that big run towards the end of the game. What was a change there? Was it just missing open shots, or was there a scheme that you guys faced?
Every team goes through, you know, runs. Sometimes we're hitting shots and sometimes we're not, but we gotta keep playing. And like I said before, making those extra passes, making the right plays for teammates and stuff, that helps. You know, you get rhythm shots, and you end up knocking them down. So we just gotta do more of that.
Honestly, it was just like, also, even though the shots weren't going our way, just a keep shooting mentality. Like, we all know we got a talented group. We all know we're shooting shots that we can make, and missing one's not the end of the world.
There was a sequence there with about 6.5 minutes left where Prentice gets a steal that leads to a layup for you. He keeps his feet planted, gets a 3-second, leads to a 3 for you, and that's when you guys really started to gather that momentum. Like you said, Deshaun, how important is it to stay locked in defensively when you know that can lead to really good offense?
Just like I kind of said earlier, you know, because with us, of course, Coach Dixon is always talking about the transition and all that type of stuff. But I feel like something that's going to be really key for us is getting stops, because I feel like whenever we get out and run, we're going to be one of the best teams in the country, and it's going to be hard to do just because of our ability to, you know, have people who can get downhill, and as well as have people who can step out and make that shot. So I really feel like just the defensive end and really getting stops is really what kind of led to that offensive surge, because I feel like defense always leads to good offense, and we started getting stops, we started making more shots.
Coach Dixon's talked a lot about rebounding and needing to improve that. You guys out-rebounded Florida Gulf Coast by, I think, 14 and then had 12 offensive rebounds tonight. How much of an emphasis was that coming into this evening's game?
You had 9?
I had who? Our close scrimmage versus Texas.
Who had 9? You had 9.
Yeah. No, our scrimmage at against Texas was kind of an eye opener. I don't know if y'all got the stats for that game or not, but we got out rebounded by a lot. So ever since then, we kind of been preaching rebounding, being more aggressive, making sure you're hitting your guy, chasing the ball. And we just got to keep that up. But yeah, the Texas game really helped.
Also, another thing is, like, I feel like early on in the season, I'm not going to speak for everybody, I'm going to speak for myself. You know, I kind of left the rebounding up to Ernest, and I realized that, you know, all 5 guys really do got to go to the glass, and Dixon's not just saying it. And as soon as that started happening, I feel like the rebounding got easier, so that started more fast breaks and more opportunities for each other.
Think of those momentum plays. There was a sequence where I think Chase got 2 or 3 offensive rebounds, off his own misses, but we'll let him have it. And then you guys obviously got hot there near the end. For freshmen to step up in those moments, make those big plays, what does it mean to you guys that have been around a little bit longer?
I just feel so proud.
Yeah, it's definitely huge. You know, at a level like this, it's really hard to make an impact as a true freshman. And even the redshirts, yeah, like Jason, Isaiah, the way those guys can just come in and make an impact, because it's hard to do that at a young age, especially at this level. But to see them coming in and doing that, it shows all the things that we work on, and you know they really dedicate themselves to that. So I'm proud of my young one, man.
And like I told Mike after the game, like, you really played like crunch time minutes. Like, that's big minutes right there, and you held your own more than that. So, you know, just having guys like Micah, Ash, you know, the freshman Malik, just know that they can come out and hold their own and play out there. It just makes our team so much more deeper.
Micah, how much confidence do you have right now, not only in having playing crunch time minutes and then seeing the opportunities that you're seeing?
Yeah, I would say a lot, but I really feel like that really comes from a lot of different things, you know, just because, of course, from the coaching staff, from believing in me and believing in my ability to be able to, you know, make the right plays in late game situations, but also just from my teammates, you know, because, of course, they said high things of us, but also them, you know, them trusting me to make open shots, you know, because I first came in the game, I started off 0 for 3, and, you know, they still believe in me. You know, the shots that I've put in, you know, the stuff we've worked on in practice, they still have that trust and faith in me. And I really just feed off of that, and, you know, it really just uplifts me to help me be able to make those plays.
And Vaseasn, you're scoring a bunch of points, but it seems like when the other team kind of gets hot a little bit, you're making just clutch scores down the when you need to.
ISO.
What is that about?
I just have a high level of confidence, you know. It's just scoring is just what I do, you know. And I feel like having guys like Micah and B1s that, you know, instill that in me, like, yo, we got to get a bucket, like, you know, attack, play aggressive. That just makes the confidence sky shoot even more. And I just knowing that they got my back to, even if I miss, I know they're not on me. They telling me shoot it again. So just having guys like that's really what makes it more easy.
Any last question for him? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here tonight. Liked how we defended down the stretch the last 20 minutes, 15 or so. So that was kind of what won it for us, allowed us to pull away. So that was good to see. More solid. You know, got used to a couple things. They were driving us a little bit early in the first half, and on some things that we've been working on and still not getting it quite right. We call it dribble pitches, a little weave action, penetrate and kick. So we've got to do a better job in that area, and I thought we did second half, so that was good to see. So give them credit. We found a way to get it done defensively, rebounding-wise. Got all of our defensive goals, our standards, so that's a good sign. Offensively, just not very good early, and, you know, and it wasn't like missing shots. It's just our decision-making wasn't great, as good as that's been. And then, obviously, you go from 29 to 5 assists to turnovers, then you come there. So that's the disappointing part. So we know we can do it, but we didn't. And we've got work to do, as everybody does this time of year. So that's what I told our guys. We'll be off tomorrow. We've got Sunday, Monday to play on Tuesday. But we've got to get better. A little disappointed in our offensive flow, but you know, we didn't handle a couple of things right. And then second half they changed defense a little bit, and really the first time we've seen that. You know, hopefully you probably got to see it before you get really good at it a couple times. So that slowed us down a little bit. So I think their defensive ball screen coverage was different than what they did in the first game. You know, we adjusted to it, but I don't think we adjusted well enough to it, as we told them right away what they're doing, and I don't think we made the decisions necessary. So a lot of shots that were not in bad drives. That's how you get 14 turnovers, and that's how you shoot 3 of 10, 5 of 14. I mean, you know, you just add in a couple bad ones, and it's good. So I guess the disappointing part is that you go from 29 to 5, and then you end up with 15 and 14 the next day. So improvement to be done.
There's a sequence there about 6.5 seconds left in the second half where Ernest gets the steal, leads to a transition bucket. He keeps his feet planted, gets a 3-second violation. Just how is that a point of emphasis about turning that defense into a transition offense, and how good was it to see, even though things haven't been going your way?
Yeah. I guess we've been doing it for the last 2 years. That is an emphasis. I guess I've been working on it a little bit. I guess if you haven't noticed, Jamie, I guess I've been doing a bad job. But I'll go. I guess that's why I'll be in the office watching film all night tonight. But yeah, it wasn't. I thought opportunities, we just weren't good enough in opportunities. I'm gonna go figure it out. I thought we over-penetrated some. I just didn't think we had the right guys who handling the ball too. I thought that was a part of it, but there were some good ones. But certainly not enough. And you're right, it wasn't as good as it's been, and we got to get back to it. And I thought that was kind of first half. We didn't make those decisions. Second half, we got slowed down by the 1-3-1, and then the we call it 33, the three-quarter court press, and heard it on the back end a couple times, but we were just too. Stationary, too slow. Stationary wouldn't be the correct word, but just too slow, and our didn't get what we wanted to do. So we haven't practiced against it a lot. The 1-3-1, but that's the problem with that thing. Every once in a while, somebody's going to throw it in there. We knew they were going to do it. We just, probably it's on me. We should have practiced against it more in the 2 days. I guess we had. We just found out they did it.
How hard is it this time of year, especially in the transfer portal era, to balance needing to work on things, wanting to get better, with wanting to let guys get comfortable and learn how to just kind of play basketball together?
Well, I think that's what we're trying to do from day one. So it's everybody talking. It's every article's got to have a transfer portal paragraph in there. But we start. I'm mad at myself. I had enough time. I had 82 practices with them, 82 workouts. We should have been, we got to be better. But we're not going to be great every day. So I just don't. I'm not going to be that guy that blames many mistakes on the transfer portal. If we weren't good enough, we didn't play well enough together, it's because I didn't have them ready to play well enough. Because we played really well the last game, so you'd think 2 days later we'd be even better. But it was different. It was different, and give Gulf Coast, they're a more physical team, and I think also they responded because they lost a tough game the other day. They were up, had a chance, and it got away from them at the end. And I think they responded just kind of how we kind of responded from a scrimmage loss. I think so. I give them credit. I should have done that first, but I'm not gonna. I know everybody's. I'm not going to say the transfer portal is we had 70 practices before Arkansas workouts, and it's an hour, but it's a good for a lot of those. We had plenty of time since then. I think we've had. I guess. Melissa, you got me on a tangent here now, but we have 70 practices before Arkansas. I think we're at 90 practices in one game. 90 practices in one game. We've got enough time together.
But I think even less about the mistakes and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But more about learning when to let guys go and when to kind of rein them in.
Who, me? I feel pretty comfortable with that. I feel pretty comfortable with that. We were trying to go. We were playing too slow. We were playing way too slow offensively. And the three-quarter court press had something to do with the 1-3-1 had something to do with that. And I got to look in the first half. I don't know why it was in the first half. I don't know why. I thought we had the ball in the wrong hands. I thought we over-penetrated. So I think that was it. And it's just sometimes it's not going to be there too. Things got to go your way too. And it might be part of it too. Long rebounds, don't go the rebounds in the corner down the baseline instead of getting long rebounds, or deflections and steals. We had a scrimmage earlier in the year. We forced a bunch of turnovers, but they're all dead ball turnovers. So we're walking it all the time. We're walking it up. So. Those. I wish I could follow the script I read up the day before, but it doesn't always go quite like that, and it didn't go like that time. But what I liked is how we responded defensively in the second half, especially down the stretch.
You had Micah Robinson in there in crunch time minutes. What did you see out of him tonight?
I don't know. I've said it before. We got 5 guys, and they just have not. No one's separated themselves. Those spots. So you're probably going to. 80 practices, they still haven't separated themselves. So it could be any guy, and we have different lineups. We've started different lineups pretty much every. I think we started the same one this time, but I wouldn't be surprised if we started a different one. The 5 forwards. What I will say is they've really challenged each other. What I like about it, and I've really stressed it, is defensively, all 5 have been pretty good. All 5 have been pretty good, and that's rare. and they're all right there. Our guards got to be better defensively. I thought they played a little better. But those 5 guys, it's interesting. There's not much separation. Defensively, now especially, Trey's gotten better defensively. And then Micah, neither one, none of the 5 have shot it great in the scrimmages and what we've done. So, but if they defend and rebound, which they're doing a pretty good job of that, and take care of the basketball, which they hadn't done a pretty good job of. That was, I think our problems offensively today weren't really their problems. I thought our guards got to be better. So, but like Micah does everything right. That's why I like him. And at the same time, we got to see how this thing works out. 5 of them playing. We could have played somebody at the 2 a little bit more minutes, but we didn't do that today. That's what we got to figure out.
You said before Monday that you were going to be working on rotations for a little while, and just talked about the length separating.
I don't think we're going to have rotations with those 5 guys. I mean, it's been 80 days.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is Micah came in a little earlier than Isaiah did in game 1, or game 1, and just what do you see, from those guys tonight with maybe a little bit of different lineup combinations on the floor than you did from game 1?
I tell you, the 5, there's not much difference. I mean, you're trying to get some out. There's not much difference. They're all defending well, which I'm very excited about. They're all defending well. So that's first and foremost. I mean, it's whoever makes some shots seems to be the difference. And right now, none of them really been making shots. I've been making them practice to a degree. Probably Brennan's been the best, but Micah shot it well too. But no one played great there at those spots offensively, unless I'm missing something here. We're a work in progress, as is everybody at this time. And again, don't read too much into. I'll let you know when one guy's really separating themselves. You'll know. I've been waiting for it. If it doesn't happen, Trey's really stepped up defensively. Micah's been surprisingly good for a freshman. Brendan's been solid. Jace has always been one of our best, and Isaiah, well, he was out for a while, but he's been our best rebounder out of that spot, which is part of defense. So again, that's where we're at. We're at 5 guys, and that's our. I want to make it a strength, not a weakness.
You talked about rebounding. You're plus 14 boards with 12 offensive rebounds. I know that's always been a point of emphasis. That's something that I have picked up on. What did you think of the efforts?
I thought, the numbers were good. It was interesting on the 2 scrimmage and the exhibition. I was shocked at our rebound numbers, and it didn't make sense. Now, we were forcing a lot of turnovers in both games, and that had something to do with it. But, it's good. It's good the last 2 games where our numbers have gotten better, and, we forced some turnovers as well. But, our defense was key. We'll be highly efficient on defense this game, which is what you want to do, better probably than the last game we played. And our offense was just not on par with it. So the rebounding, I was just shocked the first 2 games. There was some things I could made some sense, but we should be a good. All those guys rebound pretty well. Those forwards, Ernest and Punch, are good rebounders. We've really emphasized to our guards to be better. They've got to get 10 between them. I don't think they got it today. Let's see, 33, and we got 10. They got 10 from the 3 of them, so that's why we did it. So the guards were probably in the 2 games. That was probably the biggest thing that stood out in the rebounding. Those 3 guys didn't rebound well enough, and they have the last 2 games. So that's got to be a big part of it. I'm a little worried about it because we're a little small at the guards. How that's going to play out, but they're competitive, they're tough, and we just got to hold them accountable on that rebounding number on that. So 10's pretty much a good standard for that spot. That's kind of what I've always had. So.
Any last questions, Chris?
What did you see as the biggest difference between the end of the game when you guys started to get the offense moving versus the beginning when you started to develop?
I think the defense, we got out running more, and even though our breaks weren't great at the end, I gotta go look at it. It didn't. our offense didn't flow today. I mean, it wasn't as good as it has been, and I think, be honest, they started missing some shots, and I think they just got, we got some breakaways. The press break is what we got a couple of them at the end of it, so that was good. We attacked it, but I think early on we weren't attacking it well enough. So I think they got maybe a little gambled a little bit more, and then that opened it up for us. So, but that's what you got to do. You got to take advantage of those opportunities. But we need to have lower turnovers and higher shooting percentage, and our shooting percentage is based on our shot selection. So I think we attacked the press a couple times. That was it. Hit a couple open threes, which we hadn't done, and that just makes the difference. So it was good. But I thank y'all, and we'll go work on it right now. And as everybody's trying to get better for that next one. So and big football game tomorrow, and big weekend, and so looking forward to that.
Cool. Thanks,
All right, we'll see y'all tomorrow.